Hello and welcome to ThePrint. Ending suspense over his possible shift to the Rajya Sabha, Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar announced Thursday that he seeks to, quote unquote, become a member of the Rajya Sabha in the election being held this time. Well, in fact, as we speak, he has already filed his nomination, and with Nitish Kumar's move, the path is in a way clear for installing a new Bihar Chief Minister, who many say is likely to be from the allied Bharatiya Janata Party. To discuss this, its repercussions, what it means for Nitish Kumar, JDU, as well as the politics of Bihar, we have with us RJD, National RJD spokesperson Jayant Jigyasu. We have Professor Chandrachur Singh, who teaches political science at Hindu College, Delhi University. Welcome to ThePrint. My first question to you, Mr. Singh, what does it mean for Nitish Kumar?
Thank you, Neelamji. I think, this entire thing is a watershed movement, I would say, in Bihar's politics. See, Nitish Kumar has been kind of a central axis of, the political system in Bihar as it has been in the last 2 decades or 3 decades or so. So I think it's a watershed movement. What it basically means for Nitish is that it's a exit for him. Now we may debate that, and some may call it a graceful exit. Some may even say that it was already it was a writing on the wall, and that he was a chief minister only for the interim period. Whatever you may say, but I think it's an exit. It's an end of a kind of a era in politics that Nitish Kumar had in Bihar. Yes, it will result in a lot of realignments. It's not going to be that easy. Particularly if when you have somebody as strong as Nitish Kumar had been, as deeply rooted and entrenched in the political system of Bihar as he has been. The exit will create a vacuum, but we also know that in politics, vacuums do not last for long. So there will be some realignments, and that those realignments need to be discussed, need to be seen, need to be analyzed. But yes, everybody knew that this was bound to happen. When would that happen was the question. And so now he's chosen a day. He has been known for, surprising his friends and foes alike. And if you really look to the way he has been surprising people, he does that every 2 years. So from 2013, if you keep tracking the way he has surprised people, 13, 15, 17, 19, 20, 22, 24, and now 26. 25, I'd not count because that's the time then they went into the elections together. So, I don't see it as a big surprise. Yes, what needs to be understood is what would happen once he's already filed a nomination. Every likelihood he will win. Every likelihood he comes to Delhi. Maybe the health system in Bihar is not that good, so maybe he would have access to better health system in Delhi. So maybe that's the way I see this, but it's not surprising for me at all.
Yeah, before I come to Jayant, one more thing I wanted to ask you is that what does it mean for the JDU? Because we saw, there were a handful of JDU workers, supporters, who are displaying their anger, their frustration. Some of the leaders have also, they've not really said that they are happy with the decision. What does it mean for the JDU as a party?
Well, if you look to the regional parties generally, and this is something that which is quite well known, all regional parties are basically family-based parties. There's hardly any exception. The only 2 exceptions were JDU and the BJD. And what happened to BJD? Once Naveen Patnaik's health started failing him a bit, right? So therefore, there is but all this while, particularly, there are crisis managers in JDU who have been working together to ensure that the party stays as a strong party. However, my own understanding is that there are different camps within the party itself. So you have some people like Lalan Singh and Sanjay Jha and Ashok Chaudhary, to name a few, who would be, trying to ensure that the continuity is there, But on the other side, you also have the combination of Manish Verma and Sanjay Gandhi and Deepak Kumar, the ex-bureaucrats. So they'll also try to ensure that in the interim period, somebody from Nitish Kumar's family gets into. That's one way they could save the party from an imminent split which might be there. So, the days developments in the days to come will tell us more about it. I don't see anything happening right away to the JDU, but yes, the possibilities for people poaching on the JDU will actually the efforts to that end will deepen right now. Of course, there are crisis managers within the party who would try to ensure that the party stays together. One surprise move, one move for that, not again surprising, but one move for that would be to elevate Nishant Kumar particularly and give him some formidable responsibility in the party. So while Sanjay Jha could continue as a working president, Nishant Kumar could just become the president, and there would be people closer to Nitish Kumar to mentor him, at least for till the time he becomes really ready to take over.
Right. Jayant, RJD as well as, other opposition parties, they had been raising this issue of how the BJP had hijacked the CM's chair. The CM was being remote controlled. How do you see this entire, issue that has sort of unfolded?
Undoubtedly, this is the way the ideology of RSS functions. And they have a history of finishing their allies very brutally and in very ungraceful manner. Nitish Kumar doesn't deserve such a cruel exit and in very ungraceful manner. And people of Bihar are feeling very cheated, and the supporters, well-wishers and voters of the JDU are quite unhappy with the scenario. And Nitish Kumar has been known as a very, very unpredictable sort of politician. And he has always defied his colleagues, be it Digvijay Singh ji or George Sahab or Sharad Yadav ji. Nitish Kumar finished all his contemporaries. And one can say that this is poetic justice, but the people of Bihar are paying very heavy cost of it. And for the first time in the history of independent India, BJP or the party affiliated with the RSS is going to form the government on its own. And this is not good for the politics of socialism or secularism. And they are very one can say that they are working for the capitalist class, and that is why they have given thousands of hectares of land and agricultural land to Adani in Bhagalpur. So not only the JDU is suffering or going through a very difficult phase, but also the very state of Bihar. And there is, we all know that there is something rotten in the state of Denmark written long ago, but there is everything rotten in the state of Bihar. There is complete loss and absence of the government. And we have sympathy for Nitish Kumar ji, and we have high regard for him, despite the fact that we have been cheated by him time and again. But despite all these facts, we were praying for his better exit. But yes, duas have also its limitations. So this time our duas failed miserably. And we appeal to the marginalized section, downtrodden, that don't be disappointed. And you are very welcome in our large extended socialist family. Come and join hands with Tejasvi Yadav ji. You are most welcome in our courtyard, in the family of RJD. And we are going to play the politics with very fair terms and conditions. And we won't let you down. So That's
Well,
it.
Chandrachur Singh ji was talking about poaching. So you are looking at a split in the JDU and RJD's, is going to allow people to sort of, join them.
No, I am just saying that the very fate of the socialist politics should not be uh, this kind of unfortunate aspect which we are witnessing. It must survive, and the way Nitish Kumar has dumped every alliance, and I always say that he is a habitual alliance offender. So I can't forget what he did with Sharad ji or George Sahab or Digvijay Singh ji. But yes, the people of Bihar don't deserve this kind of betrayal by the BJP, because it was the face of Nitish Kumar, and they ensured the masses that 25 se 30 फिर से Nitish. What happened with this kind of rhetorical commitment? So people are feeling very deserted, humiliated, and cheated. He was not an individual. He represented the state of Bihar, and in past also in Arunachal Pradesh, the JDU was supporting the government, and the government was running very comfortably. But out of 7 legislators, BJP made it possible that JDU faced a split, and 5 legislators switched right. So this is how BJP treats its allies. So in that light, I appeal to the supporters, voters, and all the EBCs, Dalits, Pasmandas, that you should not feel very alienated, but you are very welcome in the old Janata family. And we will take care of all the concerns and all the necessities and requirements of these classes. And Tejaswi is capable of managing all the contradictions, and we will lead the state with head held high. Yes.
Right. Mr. Singh, we are going to have most probably a BJP chief minister for the first time since the Jan Sangh days. What does it mean for the BJP, its politics in Bihar? Because, there's always been this tension about Big Brother, how JDU has always been playing the role of Big Brother, how later on it changed. So what does it mean for the BJP?
Well, I was listening to the spokesperson now, and I'll tell you what it means for the BJP. But it's also equally going to be very difficult for the RJD as well. I mean, just look at what are they saying? I mean, they would obviously want all these classes and castes to. Class is a word which they use, but I think it's all the caste that they're looking up to, that they should come and join their courtyard, quote unquote, as the spokesperson said. I mean, I don't know what courtyard means here, but the fact of the matter is that the BJP, the socialist politics in Bihar, if you look to the socialist politics in Bihar, has always been done in close alliance with the right-wing parties, as it had been right from the Jan Sangh days. Now, the BJP has been trying to get to power, explicitly on its own means and explicitly in its own way. That has not happened, and that did not happen primarily because Bihar politics is split in terms of caste alliances, right? So you see the pattern of politics that the BJP does in other states is where it tries to prop up a coalition of castes which can stand in opposition to the socially dominant caste, right? So you look to Haryana, you look elsewhere, that's how it happens. Now in Bihar, the opposition to the Yadav-led alliance has been on the non-Yadav Kushwaha, Koiri, Kurmi alliance. And that alliance and the EBC and a bit of women and a bit of, the forward caste. I think that alliance was cemented by Nitish Kumar. And that is why Nitish Kumar, as I said, has been part of the central axis of Bihar's political landscape. Now, unless the BJP gets all that towards itself, it will be difficult. So the BJP will have a government, but the BJP then would want all of this to come to itself, to its side, so that it can lead the coalition or it can run the government effectively, smoothly. Look at it. The BJP has been contesting election. It has a formidable election machinery. It has leaders. It has resources, everything. But when it comes to Bihar, it has always tried to be with Nitish, and when it is with Nitish, it does very well. That's what it did, in the last elections. That's what happened in 2024 elections. So the BJP will try to have power and use the power to really, consolidate this section. Once this gets consolidated, then it becomes much more effective and much more convenient for the BJP to run the government through. So I think that's what is going to happen. And that is why you'll see once things are out, you'll see that somebody representing that kind of a grand coalition is likely to be put in the chair. Now, who that person would be, nobody knows. Both Narendra Modi and Nitish Kumar are known for keeping all the cards closest to their chest. So, there are a lot of rumors, a lot of names going on, but I think ultimately the consideration would be this. Now we have to see which name actually reflects this kind of a consideration.
Right. Many are also, talking about how this is end of Lalu Paswan and Nitish era in Bihar. So, when we are talking about Bihar politics, how do you see politics sort of reshaping in a way from now onwards?
Is that to me?
Yes, that's right.
Okay. So, if you look to Indian politics, particularly in the northern part of the country, there are two basic things which we as teachers of political science tell our students. So you'll see this shift, the tectonic shift happening in the 1990s, India opening up, liberalization and all that. And opposed to that was this socialist rhetoric, which you'll see every now and then coming back. And primarily, these narratives were split on the Mandal and Kamandal divide. With Lalu Prasad Yadav and his colleagues, including Nitish Kumar, Ram Vilas Paswan, firmly standing for Mandal politics, whereas there was this religious identity politics, which was championed by the BJP, and we used to call it the Kamandal politics. For long, while Mandal and Kamandal kept converging in different parts of the country, particularly in the northern part, Bihar was an outlier. It was an outlier, though the two came together, but not through explicit and very clear kind of an articulation. It was a bit, bit on the lower side. It was not very explicit, I would say. So they were coming together, but implicitly. Now, what I see now is that the convergence of Mandal and Kamandal into one, with the BJP forming its government for the first ever time. And how does it play out? Well, one would wait and see. But I think these two strands of politics, which at one point in time, people would say that, well, they may not meet, because remember, religious identity cements a lot of caste-based identities, right? That was not happening in Bihar. But I think with the BJP's, BJP forming the government, that would get cemented if things go well from here. And I think that double engine narrative of the BJP would be then played out to cement it further. So if you listen to what the Home Minister said, he was praising Nitish Kumar, and he was praising Nitish Kumar, saying that he had done a lot of development, roads, linked it to villages. Now is the time to give the final push to take Bihar towards, because remember, if the BJP wants India really to develop, and which is very explicit, then a Viksit Bharat cannot be thought of without a Viksit Bihar. So I think the BJP will, push that narrative, form the government, and will try and cement a grand coalition of the non-Yadav OBC, Mahadalits, EBC. This is the ideal situation that the BJP would want. The forward castes, which are not too many in Bihar, but they are socially dominant, they'll also be the kind of topping of the pizza. And I think that's what's going to happen in Bihar in the times ahead.
Right. Jayant, we have been hearing this a lot that, BJP as a party, it ends up sort of finishing its allies. What do you see as the message for the allies? Because we see what has happened in Maharashtra, now Bihar. So how do you see that messaging that has sort of also come out of this?
Once Francis Bacon gave a very prophetic statement that we are commanded to forgive our enemies, but not our friends. So this blend of corporate communal elements, which are very core of the BJP, are not good for the health of democracy. So we urge to all the parties which are working in Bihar or in country in general should be aware of kind of fraud manifested by these two great people coming from Gujarat. They have let our country down at every forum, and we can't expect the role of Dilip Kumar from Salman Khan. And if we do so, we are living in fool's paradise. That is what I can say.
I asked this question, earlier, but I want to know your views. What does it mean for Bihar politics? And do you think RJD will also have to make some changes to the way, how it goes forward, as far as their own politics is concerned?
No, one can feel the very fresh fragrance and very pleasant vibes coming or emanating from the leadership of Tejasvi Yadav ji. And he has reiterated that we want to do a politics of inclusion, and we represent the politics A to Z. Though it was very much present during Lalu Rabri era, and Lalu Prasad made 18 legislators, ministers coming from the upper caste, and 31 out of 63 legislators coming from OBC and ABC, 8 ministers out of 12 legislators coming from the minority. And that was the very commitment to bring the very marginalized section to the front. And that is why he is known for making paradigm shift in the politics of Bihar. But yes, this is the era when we want to transcend, and we are quite hopeful that Bihar will get what it deserves. And Tejasvi ji is going to do politics of 40 coming years, and he will impact the very nature and the very taste of politics, and we need it earnestly.
Right. Mr. Singh, we have been talking about the impact on Bihar politics. Nationally, what do you think will happen, especially the impact on Uttar Pradesh? Because Uttar Pradesh elections are also just around the corner.
It depends on how we look at all that is happening around. I mean, if we look at it, which is the one way of looking at it is from the caste class perspective, which is what politics is basically understood as. But I think if you look to what is happening in Bihar, or even and what happened in Uttar Pradesh, there will be a generational shift. So Bihar is a bit late in that generational shift. So the era of Lalu, Nitish, and Ramvilas Paswan is finally over. I mean, it was just about to be, but somehow Nitish Kumar was clinging onto it. So finally, the last of the three is about to leave, and then that opens up a new set of narratives that will be built and that will basically will try to be put into use. And that's the narrative of an aspirational Bihar. Because remember, Bihar has a large number of younger voters there. I think largest in the country. Now, look at the leaders to be. I mean, of course, Lalu's son is a leader. Tejasvi Prasad Yadav is a leader who's young, as my fellow panelist said. He has 40 years ahead of him. Talks are on. Chirag Paswan is already there. Nishant might join in. So, there will be a push to this idea of a young aspirational, the politics of young and the aspirational. And I think Bihar badly needs that. It does not need this caste-based socialist rhetorical politics, because that has not led and that has not served Bihar any good. What it has done is it has only led to entrenchment of caste-based, violence, caste-based, rivalries, and an huge outflow and in a migration of people from Bihar to the different parts of the country. So I think it's time now that, that be stopped, good governance be brought in, developmental politics be prioritized over all this communal, caste, secular. I mean, these are all rhetorical things of the past. The Gen Z does not understand this language of politics, right? So I think that is very important, and how the BJP pushes it forward. Because remember, you also have a player in Prashant Kishore. He might not have won the seats, and he might not have had any, kind of traction in the last election. But you can never write people off in politics. So, and I'm sure he's going to give his push further to the idea further. The LJP is already leading that in terms of Bihar first and a Bihari first kind of sloganeering. And you also have other people from the civil society who are trying to give that a push. So I think this is something which will hold on. And that is why don't be surprised if BJP pushes again for a younger person to lead Bihar. That's again my hunch. In terms of its impact on UP, well, I think that in UP there will be a direct contest between Akhilesh Yadav and the BJP. It will be a bipolar kind of an election. How Akhilesh Yadav creates a coalition and how who goes into election will determine how things go there. But I don't think this having any impact on Uttar Pradesh, for that matter. I don't think this will have much impact on Assam either. This might give Mamata Banerjee some kind of an idea to go to the people and say, well, this is what the BJP is known for. But then in Bengal, there's no regional party which is in alliance with the BJP. So it doesn't hold good there as well. But I think, in the days to come, one should see, how the BJP pitches all this up, because at the end of it, I think Bihar needs to get rid of this decades-old caste-based, arguments and get into, in the realms of modernity and development. That's what it requires.
Well, my last question to you, Mr. Singh, you just mentioned Nishant Kumar. When you're talking about the timing of it, do you think there is also a thought that has been given to the succession plan?
Well, must have been. A lot of people say that, well, all of a sudden, this is not an overnight development. When the BJP and the JDU formed the government, well, given the fact that, Tejasvi Yadav had been, too much talking about all this, it would have been very difficult for the BJP to form the government at that point in time. So maybe they wanted to put Nitish Kumar there and plan it out in a way where the succession issue is settled and where it becomes much more easier for the BJP to take over. So while it might come to us as a surprise, I don't think it is kind of any surprise to the BJP and to even Nitish Kumar. So the consultation must have been happening over this period of 3 months, and all succession plans must have been put in place. So you'll see a very easy transition tomorrow or on the 16th as and when it happens. And I think, say this very clearly. Nitish Kumar will have a role to play in politics, at least in the year, or at least a year or two ahead. When you pass on the baton, remember, the one who passes on the baton also runs a bit before he stops. So if you look to a relay race, it's not that the runner completely stops and then one starts running thereafter. No. So, you take a start, and I think Nitish Kumar will run a bit, maybe for weeks, maybe for months, before which the transition takes shape. So I do think that Nishant Kumar would be playing a very important role. I see a very important role being played by Vijay Chaudhary as well. So all of them will come together, and that's how it will happen, because the JDU also knows that it is vulnerable. Post Nitish's exit, the JDU will feel vulnerable. And that vulnerability will be from both the sides. The fear will be from both the sides. So the people in JDU must have had access to the plan, and the key people in the JDU will execute it, of course, to the liking of both the Prime Minister, the Home Minister, and Nitish Kumar.
Right. Well, thank you so much for joining in and sharing your views, and for this enriching conversation. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a nice day. Thank you.
Thank you.